Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. It is the 22nd of March, and because last week had a delayed Rust store, instead of having it on the Thursday, it didn't appear until Friday. We are not looking to see any abnormal skins appearing today, because, theoretically speaking, instead of them appearing for, Wednesday night going into Thursday morning, now they're all going to appear Thursday evening going into Friday morning, depending where you're in the world. But for me, midnight. So there's also the added thing, and we saw it last year with the Lunar 2022 skins, Lunar New Year 2022, because they delayed it till Friday for the Rust store to appear. All the skins became marketable at the same time. Yes, even when the Rust store rotated, the regular skins didn't even become marketable. So this means all skins are expected to be marketable at the same time tomorrow. So Thursday evening going into Friday morning, midnight UK time. Technically speaking, that would be, just under 26 hours time from now. So just figure out when the UK time is and you'll get a good idea of when all 9 of these skins will become marketable. Now that's based on what I saw last year. If things change today, I'll be very surprised. So let's get started. Let's start doing what we can do. At the very least, we can go through all of these skins and figure out prices. And, based on what we see here, it would be perfectly fine to follow that up tomorrow, because at the moment, we can clearly see how these skins are likely going to end up at. Let's start off with the Abyss Furnace. Abyss Furnace has only sold just over 32,000. That sounds silly to say, doesn't it? But it has sold less than its garage door, which is, it's okay. Now, the main things that we need to discuss is this week we did see the Abyss Sheet Metal Door version 2 being submitted. With the amount of sales that both of these have had, I feel very confident we're very likely going to see this potentially being accepted in the future. We're very likely going to be seeing a whole lot more Abyss Deplorables being submitted in the future. Will they be accepted? We shall see, but they are selling a lot, and I'm pretty sure Face Punch likes a good profit. So, with 32,000 plus sales at the moment, I get the feeling we're probably going to get to around 34,000 by tomorrow. Remember, some people like to wait until the last minute to go ahead and buy their skins. So I wouldn't be surprised if we end up potentially at around 35,000 in circulation. Give it a week or two. SUMN cannot track every single account, but, from what it can eventually see over time, wouldn't be surprised if we end up with about 35,000 in sale. Now, remember what I said? I referenced the Dragonhorn Furnace with this. Dragonhorn was a collection that we had before that came out back in 2021. We had 2 years to see how Dragonhorn Furnace behaved. When times were good, Dragonhorn was wonderful. When times were bad, it did go down in price. Did go down in price dramatically, but you get the idea. It would normally, at the very least, hold up its price, but it did go below its Rust store price pretty routinely. With the amount of sales that it had over 40,000 sales. This right here has just only 32,000 plus at the moment. So right now I look at this and I think, well, with the expected potential bad times ahead of us, I think it's best to put down like a $2 buy order on it. Personally speaking, it's a very cool looking furnace. I just wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if this ends up going below its Rust store price at some point this year. It's to be expected. I still think the same thing with the likes of the Abyss Garage Door. But if we do keep seeing more Abyss Deplorables being submitted and accepted, we would expect the spike in demand and the spike in price whenever one of them gets accepted. But it doesn't last. It'll last maybe a day or two, then they'll go back down in price again. So if you sell at just the right point, you will make a nice profit. Point made. It's a case of it will go below its Rust store price at some point, but there is an opportunity. There's always an opportunity. A new skin will be submitted, and if it does get accepted, we will see the likes of this, getting bought out, price go up. Same here at the garage door. But yeah, as time goes on, it's probably not going to hold up well as we enter the likes of summertime. So if you can remember last year, it was throughout June, when we had the summer sale and whatnot, people liquidating all their skins and the prices got really cheap. Wouldn't be surprised if this does get fairly cheap. Don't forget, the end of October, early November, but when times are good, so when we're around August time, when it's post-Christmas time, wouldn't be surprised if this easily goes up to about $4 or something. It's an awesome looking skin, uniquely coloured, great looking visuals, lovely bump map. I wouldn't be surprised if this does do well when times are good. So keep that in mind. Maybe you want to jump in and buy them at the right time when they've hit rock bottom. When will that be? Where you have to figure that out. You have to keep your eyes open. Jump in when you think it's cheap enough, and then you get the idea. So, okay, we'll move on to the next one. This is the sheet metal door. It has not matched up to the stone door sales. So if we can just remind ourselves, stone door had over 44,000 sales, a ridiculous amount, but it's still holding up well with its prices at the moment. What's going on? Well, initially, and still from here on now, it still feels like manipulation's happening. So if we were to look at the prices at the moment, buy orders going up to $4, cheapest one is $4.40, $149 on the market. Seems a little bit odd, but it does routinely go down a bit, and it just starts going back up a bit. So this is where it starts to go down, and then buyouts start to happen, and then the price goes back up again. It confuses me. I still think this is getting manipulated. I just am puzzled why people would do this for one of the highest bought skins in the game. But it's working, and based on what I saw here with the stone door, I assumed we potentially might see something like that with the sheet metal door. Could it work? Could it happen? Wouldn't be surprised. With less of them in circulation, it would be easier to pull off. But let's just get the point made. That is a sheet metal door that's sold over 30,000. That's instantly, in my mind, a potential problem. But it does perfectly blend up with sheet metal walls and whatnot. And at some point in your base's lifetime, you will end up with sheet metal walls. And hey, you know, you get the idea. That's going to line up very nicely. It does look very nice. If you like the aesthetic, then I think there will be demand for it. However, you can't guarantee you'll see the exact same behaviour as the stone door. It's a little bit awkward to rely upon. So I'm looking forward to watching it. Now, the main thing with the stone door was it was also abnormal, and we actually got to see those first like 16 or so hours, and then once the rust door rotated, it then started to get bought out, and then it started to go up to about $9 a piece, which was ridiculous. And then every now and then we'd see random buyouts when the prices started to go down again. So will the exact same thing happen with this? And are you going to take the risk and think, you know what, if that does happen again, if I buy 50 of these, I could easily double my money or something like that? I'm not saying it will happen. I'm sitting here saying it's a risk, hoping it could happen. So if you feel lucky, by all means. Oh, I pressed space. Oops. It's in your hands. What do you want to do? Do you reckon it's worth the risk? By all means, go for it. Try it out. See what happens. But I personally will just stick with the likes of a $2 buy order. So far, with these two skins, I'm going to stick with a $2 buy order, because I get the strong feeling that they both will do nicely in the future when times are good. It's just a matter of, with the amount of sales that they had, by default, I look at that and I think, ooh, oversaturation probably. Yeah. But we can remember from recent past, we've seen some interesting looking behaviour, but that's my current suggestion. Wouldn't be surprised if both of these end up going below their store price at some point in the future. Fireflies Sleeping Bag. This has sold 20,000, right? This is a $2.49 skin. This is probably going to end up like the Outer Planets. So Outer Planets had like, how many sales did it have? Or maybe it's going to be a solid in-between. So Molten Visage Sleeping Bag still holding up very nicely. That was a $2 skin. Outer Planet Sleeping Bag sold at $2.49, only had 15,000 sales. Now it's below its rust price, but not by much. But that's what we saw with the glow-in-the-dark sleeping bags. Glow-in-the-dark sleeping bags, right? They tend to hold their value. They never really go below their rust price too much. But they never really go insanely up in price. But it's still a nice profit to have. And remember, it's very useful to have a glow-in-the-dark sleeping bag indoors, especially at night time, in the early stages of your base. If you haven't got electricity, if you haven't got a light source, your glow-in-the-dark deplorables will help you out immensely. Or rather, quite a lot. You get the idea. So, I could see it being useful. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more Fireflies skins being made in the future. So there is a nice bit of potential there. But I know with the likes of what happened to these two, this very likely still will be going below its rust price, and therefore my answer is I am going to sit here and do maybe a $1.60 buy order, $1.60 or $1.70. That's my current answer. So yeah, that is what I'm going to consider, because I do expect it to go below its rust price. Now we got Frog Cosplay Tier 2, and it has not sold more than the hoodie and the pants. So remember what I said? The main thing that we have to be concerned about, mainly the kilt, is how many will this sell? It's only sold just over 18,000. The hoodie and the pants sold over 22,000. That means there's less of this, and that means there's less of this to go around, less of this to be made into fully complete sets. So the point is, right, as time goes on, if we do get that tier 3 armor, the kilt will most likely, by all accounts, the standard, we will see the spike in demand, the spike in price, the reactionary nature of the rust economy. You get the idea. But as time goes on, if we do see the likes of the Frog Cosplay set, flourish as a whole, the kilt probably will be one of the more in-demand pieces because there's less of them. And that's something to take into consideration. Now, Frog Cosplay isn't exactly the best green camouflage armor. It's a little bit too bright, but it is goofy. And people do like to dress up as a frog. And we've been getting a lot of frog skins recently. So if you want to be a pog frog, you're probably going to want to buy some of these Frog Cosplay skins, aren't you? You get the idea. So, pog frogs, are you interested? I'll sit here and say, in terms of investment, the kilt is looking appealing. It's looking appealing. Do I want to buy some? My current answer is, I feel like I would be stronger with a buy order. I think I could buy them for 80 cents each, maybe 85. Wouldn't be surprised if I could. But if we do see the tier 3 armor being submitted anytime soon, of course we would start to see the anticipation buys, and of course, if it does get accepted, you'll see the spikes in demand and the spikes in price, and you get the idea. So it's interesting, but I still think I'd rather do a buy order, because I remember when these first released, they did go below the rust price for a while, and then they went back up, and then they comfortably stayed up. And then when we started to hear rumours and actually saw the likes of Tier 2 appearing, well, it just went up, 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 and then it kind of stopped for a bit because there's like 200 quantity walls and resistance. You get the idea. So, yeah. 80 to 85 cents. Now you might sit there and say, what about the Frog Cosplay helmet and the vest? You could do 80 cents for these as well, but I'd probably do 70 cents for each of these. And I still think I'll buy some. I'm just taking into consideration, I don't think Milio's going to be making Frog Tier 3 version 2 quickly. I think he's going to be taking his time. I think he won't do it until after Easter at the very least, which will be middle of Easter. And I can expect quite a lot of people will be getting impatient. I will fully anticipate that. People get impatient, they'll start selling theirs at a cheaper price, people undercut each other, and the price will gradually go down a little bit. But regardless, if we see that tier 3, up in price, for sure. Then we have the Drywall Rug. Drywall Rug. So, I have seen a lot of rug skins being submitted this week that are trying to be... what do we call it? Sorry. What I'm trying to say is with the most recent TGG list, there are quite a few rug skins that are trying to be wallpaper designs. If they get accepted, that's not special anymore. And this week we saw the likes of the Asylum Rug. So you can make your entire base look as if it's an asylum room with all the cushioning and whatnot. It does look cool, and it looks more appealing than the drywall. We are starting to see more and more rug skins like this, and I'm starting to get the feeling we're going to see more of them being accepted. So that means I have a lot less faith in this drywall rug. By default, we know we don't see that many rug skins being accepted. But the main thing I'm concerned about is... how many did they sell compared to what we've seen recently? So let's just go highest estimated total supply. It's in the upper half. Now, it's not super visibly appealing, is it? You'd have to have a very... you'd be stuck in trying to gimmick your base. Like, take, for example, you could have one of these randomly. You could have one of those randomly. You could have one of these randomly. You could cover your entire base in this. You could cover your entire base and make it look as if you're camouflaged indoors and whatnot. But this, you kind of need a lot of it all around just to kind of make sense of it all. And that's why I kind of get the feeling people aren't going to be too fussed about this. So, it's awkward. Maybe, do you know what we can do? We can go and see what the cheapest is right now in terms of all the rug skins. Now, it is the Heart Rug, which had 40,000 sales. But what I'm saying is we could probably put down a $1 buy order. And if we don't see that many rug skins being accepted by default, this would actually do quite well in the future. And that is something I have seen. When it was post-Christmas, so back to here, so before we had these two, when it was just all of these skins, every single one of them was in the positive. And technically speaking, every single one of them is still in the positive. But they were more in the positive before, so you get the idea. I reckon that Drywall Rug will go up in price at some point in the future. I just don't have a lot of faith in it, and I do worry we're going to see more wallpaper-style rug designs potentially being accepted. Could it be a cheaper alternative to the snow camo rug? That's pretty interesting. I don't think it's white enough to, trick people. And I don't think people are getting tricked with the camouflage nets regardless. The nets were more of a cool idea, It's more of a role players thing. But in terms of would the drywall rug actually trick any people, I don't think so. I don't think that's happening. They have far too good of a keen eye to notice the difference. So, yeah. I'm going to stick with maybe $1, maybe a little bit higher. I reckon you could do 90 cents to maybe $1.20, and then we'll leave it at that. Because I'm playing it safe on this. That's what I'm going to say. Now we've got the Lunar Thompson. Guys, I bought 150 of these. I have my money printer on one of my accounts. It's been buying the newest CSGO case for very cheap, selling it for a whole lot more. And, well, I was more than happy to spend some money to then go ahead and buy a bunch of those Lunar Thompsons. And my main reason why is during post-Christmas time, when loads of people are playing the game, loads of people like to use a Thompson, and, of course, Thompson skins all go up in price. And I saw pretty much all of the 2022 skins, by default, on average, at minimum, they were selling for about or above $5. And that sounds very appealing. And what do we have right here? We have a $2.49 cool-looking Lunar Thompson. When you angle it right in the lighting, the craters they stand out very nicely. Looks very appealing. Looks very nice. And I could see it having a potential nice future. And with that, gentlemen, I went and bought 150 of them. Right now, this has only sold 11,800. I would assume there's probably going to end up being about 13,000 in circulation once this is all done. Now, the next thing, is this the highest selling Thompson skin? The answer is no, because there's been a whole lot more before. But this is actually in the bottom half. The bottom half. So with a lot less of them that have been bought, means there's a decent chance that a lot less people bought them in excess, which means in the future, we're probably not going to see too many Lunar Thompson skins on the Steam market. We're not going to see too many on the third-party sites. I'm led to believe that potentially would be a very nice thing to put your money towards. Now, as I said, I bought a bunch. I do think at some point the Lunar Thompson will be going below its restore price. But in regards to, well, why did you buy 150 of them? On the account that I had, right, I had to spend money just to be able to keep selling those CSGO cases that I was buying for super cheap. So I looked at the Thompson. I thought, you know what? I could buy 150 of these, and I know if I wait in for the long term, I could potentially double my money there. My main focus was I want to put my money away like a bond, and then at some point in the future, sell those skins and get my money back when I need it most. So you get the idea. I'm sure you do. So Lunar Thompson looks to be a very nice long-term investment, but I can sit here and say you're probably going to see these probably drop down to around $2 at some point. Will it always be around that price? You can't really guarantee it, but yeah, you get the idea. Thompson skins, reliable investments, and they tend to always rise up in price. So that now leaves us with the Deep Jungle AR. It's the Frog AK. It looks very goofy. It looks quite fun, but the main thing that we have to be aware of is this is the 6th AK-47 skin to be accepted since over the past 6 weeks, over the past 6 restore rotations. Here we are. So we've had 11 restore rotations so far this year, and we have had 9 AK skins. They are all in the negative except this one, but it's not marketable yet, is it? So by default, I look at that new AK and I think, you know what, that's very likely going to end up like all of the other ones. It is the lowest selling skin of the week, but it's not like that Chemical Burn Python from the previous week, which only had 4,400. This has 7,600. Is that still vulnerable to attack? It's awkward. I would sit here and say by default, because AKs aren't good investments, I'm just going to avoid it. This is a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. I'm going to play it safe. And Mr. Perilous, you do bring up a very nice question. What are the bad times? The bad times is a culmination of Rust player count at a low point. So we've already had our high point this year already. It's going to have the warning thing now. Hey! Right, so what's basically going to happen is we're going to see the average player count go down to like a more normal level. Remember, people are back to school, people are back to work, people are doing exams and whatnot. They don't have time to play games, they don't have time to play Rust. But basically, you know, this is going to reach to a point where we hit a rock bottom. And that is going to be the time where we're going to see loads of Rust skin prices going very down in price at their cheapest potentially. And that's when we, with our money, attack, buy some out, hold on to them for a long time, and then sell them at a much better time where we could potentially get some nice profits. So, yeah, they're going to get cheap. We can buy them at their cheapest price. And then we hold on to them for a while. Prices go back up. We sell them then. We make a nice profit. Now, if we're going to follow with what likely happened last year, we're probably going to see the same routine, because exactly last year we had the Antwerp CSGO Major. It started in May 2022. What do we have this year? Paris 2023. This is starting in May again. So here we are. What happens, Perilous, and this is to all of you people who don't fully know, this is going to have a whole bunch of new team stickers. We're going to have sticker capsules, autograph capsules, stickers, autograph stickers, souvenir packages, and viewer passes and whatnot. And loads of people really do like to invest into stickers and sticker capsules because they tend to be very reliable investments. Like, take, for example, hardly any people bought the Rio sticker capsules just a good few months ago. And because everybody realised, well, hang on a minute, hardly any of them have been bought, it went and doubled in price pretty much. All of the capsules went and doubled in price. So imagine if you bought 1,000 of them, you doubled your money. Simple. So, yeah, they tend to be very reliable. Loads of people tend to liquidate their skins just to go get some sticker capsules. They'll hold them in their storages, in their CSGO inventories for like maybe a year or two, and then they'll hope that they can sell them for a very nice profit afterwards. I've still got Antwerp and Stockholm sticker capsules put away. So, and they've been... Guys, I bought 60 mouse hollows from Stockholm mouse hollows. I put them in a storage and I forgot about them. A year later, I found out they went over $100 each. I have 60 of them. Yeah. So that worked out very well. And yeah, you can understand. So this is what usually happens. But what we also need to be aware of is the summer sale. SteamDB summer sale. Summer sale. And that's expected to happen June 29 to the 13th of July. So when this happens, again, people will liquidate their Rust skins, get some money, and then they're going to go buy cheap Steam games during the summer sale. Simple as. So yeah, that's basically that. When we see a culmination of low player count, loads of people putting their focus towards other games, loads of people selling their Rust skins to then go buy other things, you see skin prices go down, and you get the idea. But when the players return, when the demand increases again, you get the idea. And we know when profits from other games, aka when people probably cash out their sticker capsules, they then return to Rust, they buy the Rust skins again, the prices increase again, and we're back to the good times. So, yeah, just because we go through bad times doesn't necessarily mean there isn't a chance to make some decent profit. It is more long-term, but it's very nice. Trust me, you can make some very good money if you know what to do. So, yeah. That is not bad times in my book. That is when you get the good skins cheap as hell. Well, buddy, remember this, Perilous. Some people here have a few thousand skins. And they're not going to be very happy when they see their skins at their lowest prices. It's not a fun time. And then what we also usually see is a lot of buy orders happening because the prices keep going down and down and down and down and down. So yeah, loads of people feel unhappy because their buy orders that they did, they keep being too successful and they keep spending too much money, and it causes problems for them. But anyway, that is the quick rundown. That's the thing that you need to be aware of. And now I'm expecting throughout May and most of June, we'll be going through the bad times with Rust. Things might perk up a little bit, but then when we have the summer sale, it'll go back down a bit. But I think things will perk back up properly around August time when kids are out of school in North America. And then eventually Europe as well. And you get the idea. Loads of kids will be playing Rust again. And there will be more demand for the skins. And the prices go back up. I've told you the whole routine. You get the idea. So that's the things that we need to be prepared for. All right? So that's the whole yearly routine. That's how it all works out. Yep. And yeah, if you sold a lot of skins during January time, well, you've got a lot of money to work with, I'm sure. Maybe you want to go spend that delicious profit and sow the seeds to potentially make even more delicious profit. So yeah, sounds good, doesn't it? So gentlemen, we need to keep an eye out. Will we actually see the likes of the Abyss Furnace, the Sheet Metal Door, the Fireflies Sleeping Bag, the Drywall Rug, the Lunar Thompson? Will these skins actually become marketable at midnight in about an hour and a half's time, or will we struggle? I don't know. I will be here. We'll wait and see, and we'll find out. So, yeah, let's skip ahead. Let's go and see what happens in an hour and a half. Good day, people. Hope you're all doing well. So it's almost midnight. This is the last midnight, UK midnight, because after this, the clocks will change in the UK. And, well, that means skins will start appearing. Abnormal skins will be appearing at 1 o'clock in the morning as of next week. So let's see. Are we actually going to see any abnormals today? Are we going to see any abnormals today? And lo and behold, does it look like it? Yep, 20 seconds in. Nope. So it really does look like it's going to be exactly what we saw last year with the Lunar New Year 2022 skins. They didn't have abnormal skins appearing early. What's going to happen is all of the skins that appeared last week on Friday, yep, they're all going to be marketable at the same time. It's not going to be when the Rust store rotates tomorrow on the Thursday. No. They are all going to become marketable midnight. So Thursday evening going to Friday morning, midnight, 000, midnight UK time. Yeah. Ain't that a funny one? But at least we got it all on camera. At least we've all learned a lesson. So interesting. When we see a delay, the abnormals get broken, and the skins will all become marketable at the same time the next day. So, to explain to you a whole lot better, that's going to be in 24 hours' time. So, when it's midnight UK time, when it just hits the 24th of March for me, that is when all of the skins will become marketable as a group, as a whole. So all 9 skins will all become marketable at the same time. So tomorrow, as in, well, technically for me now, we're going to be doing our Rust store rotation stream. If you want to get a link to my Twitch, it's in my YouTube description. We'll be figuring out, well, we've already figured out the prices, haven't we? For the Abyss Furnace, I suggested up to $2. For the sheet metal door, I suggested up to $2. For the Firefly Sleeping Bag, I said $1.60, $1.70. Frog Cosplay Helmet and Vest, I said maybe 70 cents to 80 cents. For the Frog Cosplay Kilt, I said 80 cents, maybe 85 cents. The Drywall Rug, 90 cents to $1.20. Lunar Thompson, you could go up to $2. And, of course, the Deep Jungle AR, 70 cents to 90 cents. That's what was my suggestion. We've already got the prices figured out. So technically speaking, then, we're just going to have to sit and wait and see what's going to happen tomorrow. Because, well, I mean, they all should become marketable in 24 hours' time from now. But again, like I said, we all got to learn something, and yeah, now this is something you can learn and remember from now, and in the future, if it happens again, you know how exactly everything's going to play out all over again. So, very nice, very cool. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and let's see what happens tomorrow. What skins will we see, and what skins are you going to chase after first when all of the skins become marketable tomorrow? Sorry, I've been talking for so long today. Yeah, you have a good one, have a lovely day, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Are you going to jump in and buy some of these skins, or do you reckon you're going to stick with buy orders? We'll see. Catch you later. See you and goodbye.